How is it going, everyone? Welcome back to yet another video. Today, we're going to be giving you guys a crypto market update, as well as getting into why I still see base as potentially one of the biggest narratives that we could see play out throughout the entirety of 2025, but more on that later. So, let's first get into any crypto market updates that we had today. And there's a couple notable ones that I'd like to point out. The first of which being the fact that we had this token called Jelly come out, which people were able to capitalize very, very well on. And again, this is another situation as we saw with the Trump coin, the Melania coin, just another Sol coin absolutely going crazy. That was Jelly. I saw a dude turned $1,500 into over $2 million with that token, which is absolutely crazy to see. But again, that's just the type of things that happens within markets like these. So today we are essentially going to be going over the fact that we are in an interesting point in the markets. Now, we're currently sitting with Bitcoin being around $105,000. Now, some see us pushing down potentially into the $97,000 range and kind of sitting there making moves based off of that trend line. However, others see us stabilizing and potentially even showing higher increases, which potentially could push us up over $110,000 for Bitcoin. Now, of course, that would be great for alts, but because of how high Bitcoin dominance is right now, a sharp move down with Bitcoin really would not be too great for a lot of our altcoins. Not be good whatsoever. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. We've been testing the 90,000s to early 105, 104, 103. Those ranges continuously we continue to bounce off of. And it's going to be interesting to see what will happen first, right? Are we going to push above $105,000 first, or are we going to push below $90,000? So we're realistically going to see which scenario plays out, because either of those are definitely going to play out. I don't see us just staying choppy for this entire year between 90,000 and 100,000 ranges. But we'll honestly see what happens. I can't predict everything, but things do look positive for crypto. One thing that I brought up on X I'd like to take note of here is the fact that there are not going to be any capital gains tax on crypto thanks to that of Donald Trump. Well, at least he claims that to be the case. We will have to see if that is actually implemented, because of course things can be claimed, yet in order for them to be actually effective, they have to be put into practice. So we have to see those implemented first before we can start celebrating. But yes, that would mean coins like Aerodrome, Render, Ondo, all US owned cryptos would all get zero tax on those. So for example, you put 10,000 in on Render and at 5x's, your $50,000 or your $40,000 profit. We wouldn't have to pay taxes on that, which of course for those guys who like that Jelly trader trading 1,500 to millions of dollars, I think it was 1.5 mil. For those people, realistically, that would be very nice. And the fact that it's not implemented yet, of course, it should be soon, but it's not yet. But it's definitely very, very giant promise. It will, in my opinion, make the markets a lot more green, especially when it's fully enacted. I mean, you're going to see everyone jumping into crypto. And the reason for this is, with the stock market, you're taxed off of capital gains for US based stocks, right? That's just how it works within the entirety of the stock market. However, with the crypto market, why this would look so much more attractive? Well, first of all, guys, we have literally hit 2 to 10x's on this channel alone. There's guys like that trader who hit 1,000x. In that situation, what you're doing in comparison to what the S&P 500 does, you're outperforming it drastically. Like, I made a trade 2 days ago that I'm up 20% on, which in the realm of crypto really isn't that much at all. But for the S&P 500, that averages 10% annually. That's 2 years of that within 3 days. So there is a lot of value within crypto, specifically for those who understand it. And I think it's going to really, really shape our economic landscape in a very interesting way, especially if we start to see a lot of more normal people being onboarded. But I do think that if and when that gets implemented, the zero capital gains tax on US based cryptos, we will start to see a lot more people getting into crypto. Why? Because why would a stock trader who's paying up 30 to 40% of his gains every single trade, why would he stay in that where else he could literally take his technical analysis skills and go into crypto, or he can literally just buy and sell altcoin projects, just spot trade them, and then he pays 0%. So that's going to look a lot more attractive to just investors in general, which we may see people moving away from the stock market and into crypto, especially because the generations are getting younger and younger. The older generations are starting to move out. The newer generations that grew up with this technology are starting to move in. So that's something to take pretty big note of right there, that the new generations are starting to come in and will be adapting to this new technology. I mean, AI, crypto. So that's going to cause further implementation. That's why I'm so bullish on the future of cryptocurrency. I think it's going to be here regardless. And yeah, it's going to be interesting. I mean, you can get in. This is still insanely early for crypto, in my opinion. But that's all about those little news updates. There's other information, like we have already talked about the FOMC meeting. However, why am I still so bullish on base? Guys, you have to understand that base as a narrative and base just as an ecosystem is by far has some of the biggest DeFi projects that are performing insanely well. Some notable ones that we've talked about on this channel have been Aerodrome. Aerodrome is probably one of the best performing dexes within the entirety of crypto, simply by looking at metrics such as TVL and other metrics as well. And it's literally just on the base and optimism layers. And then Moonwell. I mean, Moonwell, for its functionality as a borrowing and lending platform, is doing insanely well in terms of its functionality as well. Again, when we're talking about how effective these tokens are as DeFi protocols, we're not talking about how well their price has been trading. Because, I mean, Aerodrome is at $1.06. Moonwell, I believe, is at around 4 cents. We're not talking about those coins in an essence of, okay, well, their price, they don't seem that good. No, utility-wise, they are very, very strong. They are doing exactly what they should be doing. And there's more projects being built off of the likes of these. We saw VVB coming off of Aerodrome with that. It had a sticky launch, but again, a lot of people are in that project and even adding positions now. So something else that was birthed off of it. So you guys have to understand that there is a lot of pros of the base ecosystem, and not just in the DeFi space. I mean, AI projects as well. You have meme coins, which are severely undervalued right now. Keycat being a licensed IP. Ski Mask Dog, of course, you all know that. I mean, we had Toshi being listed as well. So there are lots of undervalued base tokens that Coinbase, and even I believe it was either Coinbase's X page or Jesse on base, if you guys know who he is. One of those, Jesse Pollock, one of those people tweeted out talking essentially about onboarding specific projects, kind of rethinking what we're going to be launching, going over that, because Jesse at least thinks there should be a rework, and he's kind of the guy of base, right? They think there should be a rework, and it seems like we could see that happening. Now, what does that mean? That means instead of listing Solana meme coins, instead of listing, Ethereum DeFi projects or whatever it is, start looking at the base projects that are undervalued and not listed on Coinbase. So for a DeFi example, that would be Alien Base, still has no listing whatsoever, but a good DEX. We have other coins such as Ski Mask Dog, a very strong community with over 250,000 holders, yet no Coinbase listing. So you'd think for ease of all those 200,000 plus investors that Coinbase would actually go ahead and list something like Ski Mask Dog. However, they have yet to do so. But you might go ahead and think, well, that's really dumb. They could onboard a lot more people and a lot of liquidity would, in a sense, yes, they would make a lot of money from that. However, think of it in their lens of the fact that there's a potential that we could see some heavy green in the markets, and then it would be a better idea to list a bunch of base tokens within a very good sweep of green. Because launching them right now, are they really going to be doing much? They want to have a ton of volume within the Coinbase platform, and that's going to come in a very, very hot market. So with a lot of volume, once we have that, and once we have a lot of buy volume coming in very strongly, like heating up very drastically, then it makes sense to start onboarding those base projects because they're going to be rewarded the most rather than projects that are kind of just sitting around collecting dust. That is another reason why I'm so bullish on Base. Well, Base literally is the exchange of the entire crypto site or crypto community. Of course, you have Binance being another notable one, but Coinbase is the most widely recognized, at least here in the US. So something to consider there, but I'm significantly bullish on Base. That's almost everything I've been trading has been through Base, and all the success I've been seeing is through Base. Of course, I haven't been into the Solana meme coins, but Base has treated me just as fine. So that's why I'm so bullish on Base. I still see if we get into a hard market coming up, that we will see Base go ahead and actually do very well. So that's my thoughts on that, guys, but I will see you guys later. I bought Aerodrome 2 days ago. I still think it's a great buy, but none of that's financial advice. Just wanted to throw that out there. Plan to get out $1.50 to $2 short term, at least take some profits, and then I plan to be out of $5. Random side tangent there, but for those of you in Aerodrome, that's simply my plan. And again, Kaizen is linked in the description below. Message me if you want to get through the wait list. I can see if I can do that for you. With all that being said, I'll see you guys later.